Hello! I would like to welcome you to the Laramy-K Optician Works Training Center, where today I'm going to give you some heartfelt advice and give you some warning flags to watch for during those first couple of job interviews as a new optician. This whiteboard section, be an optician, not a doormat. Now, next week, in the next video, we're going to talk a lot about your role as an optician and the success of a business. And we're going to touch a little bit more on the huge responsibility that comes with ownership. That's next week. This week, I want to touch on some red flag items for you to watch out for when you're going to interview for that very first optician job. Now, an OD, a doctor of optometry, so many of you will go and work for one. They are balancing three extremely difficult tasks. First, they must be a competent medical doctor who is also running a fairly complex business. And because they're running a business, they have 2, 3, 4, 5 employees. They also must be a manager of people. Really hard to do. Crazy hard. A doctorate degree does not come with a magic pill or pixie dust. My wife is a doctoral level person. In fact, a little higher than the OD, family nurse practitioners that teach pharmacology and advanced nursing. Really, really good family nurse practitioner. Probably struggles to balance the checkbook, and she worked really well with people, but she actually did a horrible job, and she would admit this, at managing people. Doctorate still means you're just human. With that said, about 50% of your ODs are going to do a really good job balancing these three things. 30% of those will do a good job with 2 out of those 3. You're going to see great doctor, great rapport with patients, and because of that, they're a really good people manager. Get along with folks. Staff love the doctor. But it seems no matter what, every business decision they make misses the mark a little bit. They're doing 2 out of the 3. Then you have the 10% that will do a good job with 1 out of the 3. It's not even necessarily a bad thing, right? The doctor I worked for, 12 years. He was an okay doctor. He's actually pretty horrible at managing people unless you were adult, educated, and had pretty thick skin. But he was one hell of a businessman. Okay, retired multi-millionaire at about 58 years old, I think. Okay, incredible businessman. The remaining 10% will be in way over their head on all 3. They've just graduated from school. They have hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loans. They have the pressure of becoming a doctor, applying that skill set. They're trying to run a complex business, which is so incredibly hard. And again, huge amounts of money going out to get it started. They've got 2, 3, 4, 5 employees. They've never managed people before in their lives. 10% of those folks are going to be in way over their head on all 3 of these. And they're going to take it out on you. Let me show you some red flag items. All right, you are a newbie optician and you are headed out for your first couple of job interviews. Here are some red flags to watch out for. And trust me, I have been in this business for a very long time. I know a lot of people, and these are all very realistic scenarios. Watch for them. Don't say, I didn't warn you. Before you even get hired, you find out that the person interviewing the doc is already on optician number 8 in a year. It happens. If it's 1 or 2 in a brand new business, maybe. Okay, if you're up to 8, it ain't the opticians that are the problem. This desperate OD is going to play to your weaknesses. They are going to fawn over you and make you feel special because they need another optician to run through the mill. Before you're hired, if you're hearing sugar and spice and everything nice, oh, Dr. Parker's just so nice. If she's on optician number 8 already in a year, she's not as nice as she comes across. If it is or sounds too good to be true, well, it is too good to be true. Don't say, I didn't warn you. You're sitting down and they're telling you in promises. They're telling you the dreams for the store, that they see it as being just shy of a boutique. And it's going to be beautiful, and we're going to have a very special clientele, and you're going to have the freedom to do what you want and put what you want onto the boards. And then you take a good look around when you're waiting for the interview, and the boards are all dusty. There are actually no patients or customers around. All the stuff on the board is cheap crap, most of it out of stock or discontinued product. Promises. Too good to be true. It's not happening. It hasn't happened, okay? These are dreams, promises that haven't come true. Never going to. Don't say, I didn't warn you. You ignore all this advice, you ignore the red flags, you start working, and post-hire, you find out you're being treated like an indentured servant. Basically, you must do whatever they beckon you to do, ask you to do, and you must do it in a humble way. It doesn't matter what. Don't be a doormat. 10 to 6 becomes 10 to 6:30, 10 to 7, 10 to 7:30. This happens, folks. Watch it. Okay, you have a life. One of the beautiful things about being an optician is when you close the door and you go home, you leave work at work. It is not your business. You have a tremendous role to play in the success of that business, and I'm going to talk about that next week. But this is not your business. If you agree that you're going to work from 10 to 6 and 6, you get out of work and you go to the gym or whatever, you're not going to be there till 6:30, 7:30. And believe me, folks, this happens. Careful. Post-hire does not maintain boundaries. Okay, watch this one. Got your cell phone number, and they feel that it's okay to call you after you've gone home, after you've already worked for an hour and a half longer than you were supposed to. Call you on Saturday, call you on Sunday, and talk about work. It is not your business. It's their business. And post-hire does not train, but still happy to blame. Okay, as I said from the whiteboard before this, the person that is in over their head on all 3 is going to look for a scapegoat, look for people to blame for their failures. Just make sure that doesn't become you. And no matter what they tell you, well, be careful. Because losing that first job in a matter of weeks, months, or even a year maybe, doesn't set the tone for you very well. So be a little selective yourself in deciding who it is that you choose to work for. There are a lot of jobs out there right now, so make the best of it. Thank you so much for watching. If you're watching us on Facebook, please give us a like. If you're watching us on YouTube, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button down there in the corner and make sure that every lens that you sell at the place that you go to work and are happy being there comes from Laramy-K. I will see you again next week. Around and your coworkers